How would it fare if each queen has, in All-Stars, if each season following All-Stars 1 had to follow the All-Stars 1 format? So, let's start out with Season 2 of All-Stars. So first and foremost, I'm basically going off of the personalities of the queens. We know that the favoritism of Alaska, just like Chad, was there. So Alaska probably is going to choose Alyssa. Because their personalities are similar. We could have Alyssa and Coco working together, but I feel like Alyssa and Alaska would gel much well together. They would be like Rujubi. So Alaska and Alyssa have to go together. Another immediate pairing is Ginger and Katya, because Ginger says that she's her best friend, even though Trixie is, and so Katya and Ginger have to work together. Another group that has to work together are Detox and Roxy, since, well, they were part of Alaska Talks, unless, of course, we have the storyline where Detox and Roxy want to break out of Alaska Talks, though I would doubt it. Leaving the other four of Coco, Adore, and Tatiana and Jeremy together. Now, Tatiana and Jeremy were both the villains of their season, so obviously nobody would want to work with them, leaving them to have to pair up together so that Coco and Adore would get to work together. So first and foremost, who do I think would be eliminated first? I'd say it would probably be Katya and Ginger. Ginger came into All-Stars not prepared and left All-Stars early because she wasn't prepared. So we can go ahead and knock her and Katya out of running. But I'm throwing in something that I think should have been on season 1 of All-Stars, where the top 6 turns into the top 7 after Latrice and Manila left. They could vote in one of the others, and I think they would have kept Latrice. Latrice would have immunity for one episode and then get probably eliminated again, so that way Chad and Raven could lip sync. But that's just me. But we're going to throw that twist in now. So, who's next? It would probably be, well, let's look at that first lip sync. Ginger and Katya would leave if it was against Coco and Adore. Because Coco is the stronger lip syncer, Adore would put her up first, and Coco would lip sync against most likely Ginger, because Ginger did better in the lip syncs, and Ginger and Katya would have to leave, sparking criticism from some fans, just like Pandora leaving sparked criticism, but you get what you get. Coco and Adore would probably leave next after probably a bout with Detox and Roxy. See, Detox and Roxy would be sort of the Rujubi of the season because they work well together. Detox would probably take out Adore because you can't really have the same person lip syncing twice, and Adore would have to leave, and with her taking Coco. Tatiana and Jeremy would probably be the next ones to go, but they would vote for who they would want to save, and then the fans, yes, the fans, would bring back somebody. Knowing the favoritism of Alaska here is crucial, but I feel like Rue would probably bring back Katya for the fans. They would get rid of Jeremy because Jeremy is awful, apparently, on her season. Was awful on her season, and I don't think that she would get that edit of actually being kind, and Tatiana would be very annoyed with her. It would just be bad. But Tatiana would get to stay, that'd be great. Sadly, though, Jeremy would have to leave, and we kind of get the exact same format that we did. So we can basically go on from there, with Tatiana not having anybody to work with, leaving the competition after a bout probably with Roxy Andrews. Alaska winning a lot of challenges and having to probably face off against the final lip sync, probably between Alyssa and Katya, mostly because Detox and Roxy would get left behind because of her poor performances in the makeover challenge. The top 4 would probably include Katya, and since Rue knows the fans love Katya, he would keep her into the competition into the final 3, getting rid of probably either Alyssa or Detox. If she got rid of Alyssa, it would be a complete thing with Alyssa, Detox, and Katya with the same placement as before. Now, that would actually make more sense considering the fact that you kind of need one from each group to be in the final 3. Though, if we were doing a final 2, Katya would be eliminated. Next up is All-Stars 3. Chi-Chi DeVayne, God rest her soul, is in this one. So, first off, Shangela and Bendy LaCreme cannot work together because they would be too much of a powerhouse. They would win too many times. You need that sort of like, oh, I don't want to be paired with this person, but okay. Shangela would recognize game and would probably choose Trixie Mattel to be with her. Bendy LaCreme would probably choose Morgan, as Morgan is a workhorse, and Bendy LaCreme knows that Morgan has done a lot of stuff that would probably lead to their victory. Not only that, but now the other queens, Thorgy and Milk, would probably be paired up together because of look and aesthetic-wise. Kennedy and Chi-Chi, because they're friends, would get paired together, leaving the odd pairing of Aja and Bibi Zahara Benet to form together. Who would be the first ones out? Probably Thorgy and Milk. I don't think either of them were ready for All-Stars, and frankly, they would be caught off guard. Now, Trixie this time does not have to win because of the fact that she's not the strongest in her group. Shangela is. Shangela and Bendy LaCreme have been leading the challenges so far. And in this competition, you can't take yourself out of the game. You can only take your group out of the game. That being said, the next group to probably leave is Aja and Bibi Zahara Benet. With Chi-Chi leaving directly after, we need to bring somebody back into the competition. Which would probably be Aja, considering that Rue thinks that she needs a redemption because she is the earliest queen, the latest queen. It could also be Bibi, considering that she also needs redemption, but I'm going to say it's Aja because of the fact that she's the newest, that she wants to show that she truly is an all-star. So Aja gets immunity for 1 week. Trixie does okay, as does Shangela, unless we're talking about a Snatch Game performance. And I think the next one to go is probably Kennedy. I think she would probably lip-sync against Morgan. Morgan could be the next one to go, but considering the fact that Bendy LaCreme and Morgan have won so many challenges and Chi-Chi and Kennedy were kind of just floating by, I don't really see Kennedy making it to the top 5. Now, Aja's probably going to be the next one to go because, aforementioned thing, or we could also send Morgan home. But considering that Aja has come back into the competition, if she were to lip-sync, she would go home. Trixie and Morgan would lip-sync, and of course, Morgan would leave because she's been in the bottom probably 3 times now. And Trixie, Shangela, and Bendy would make the top 3, with Trixie probably being cut off to make the final 2, which Shangela would win. Because as for it, I could see that Shangela winning so many challenges. All-Stars 4. Now, All-Stars 4, Latrilla comes in, and of course they have to be paired together again, meaning that we need other pairs. Obviously, Valentina is going to go for somebody from Season 9, so she goes with Trinity Tuck. That's 2 pairs out of 5. Naomi wants to go with somebody who is aesthetically pleasing, so she chooses Pheromone. That's 3 out of 5. So Monet and Monique pair up, meaning Gia and Jasmine pair up. So obviously, first off the bat, we have to get rid of Gia and Jasmine. Both of them would probably go up against... Both of them are not good lip syncers, and they would probably be up against Naomi and Farrah or Trinity and Valentina, and there's no guarantee that they would win. Monet and Monique would probably also be eliminated the second time, meaning that the top 6 would include Naomi, Farrah, who's probably being dragged along by now, Valentina, Trinity, and Latrilla. Who do I think would be cut off to make it the top 5? Farah. But in voting, who would they choose? Would they bring back Farah? Or would Rue want to bring back somebody else? I think he would probably want to bring back Monique Hart, considering that they probably did okay in the first challenge, so why not bring them back now? So Monique Hart comes back into the competition, and now we have a top 6 again. Who's going to be eliminated? Well, my guess is probably either Latrice or Valentina, but considering that Manila and Latrice have kind of been leading the pack, Latrice gets to stay, and Valentina leaves, meaning that the next one to go is probably Monique. Because when you look at it, you don't need Monique here. Naomi has done well. She's made it into the Final Four with Trinity, who's also been doing well, and Latrilla, who, despite everything, have not been doing well. Though Trinity and Naomi have to lip sync, sending Trinity home. Because Naomi has never lost a lip sync in her life, and Trinity has. Twice. So, the top 3 are Manila, Naomi, and Latrice. Latrice gets cut off to make it a top 2, and Manila wins. Marking the first time that Naomi lost a lip sync, but Naomi also has had the worst track record out of the top 2. All-Stars 5 time, so everybody comes in. First and foremost, again, we cannot have Jujubee and Shay put together because game recognizes game. They would be too powerful to take out. Despite the fact that I do think that they would be choosing each other, here's how I think it would go down. I think that Derek's obviously not going to choose India, but I think out of curiosity, Jujubee would choose India. Out of curiosity. Or Alexis would choose India. Let's go with that. It seems more probable. Alexis choosing India. Shay, of course, would probably go for somebody else who is strong, probably Miss Cracker. Jujubee would probably rest on a crutch that she knows that is Derek. So Derek Barry would be Jujubee's partner. Leaving Angina, Blair, Mayhem, and Mariah. Mayhem and Mariah would probably team up, leaving Angina and Blair. But in a strange twist, Blair and Angina are safe. Meanwhile, Mayhem and Mariah leave the competition. The first time. Then it is Blair and Mariah. Blair and Angina. Making it a top 5, people are more intrigued by India than Alexis, so Alexis has to leave. Which is very, very weird, but since I know that Derek would never choose India's to stay, we have to have India to stay so that way there can be drama. So now Alexis is leaving, but do they vote her back? I don't know. I think that I think Rue would want to see more of probably Angina. So Angina gets to stay for the first top 6 episode, where Derek does the worst because it's probably like a stand-up impersonation thing or something like that, and gets sent home after lip-syncing probably against, hard to say, probably Cracker. Angina doesn't fare much better, making the top 4 India, Shay, Jujubee, and Cracker. Of course, we have to say goodbye to India, and then Cracker gets cut off to make it the top 2, meaning Shay wins. Now, what if Season 8 had been like this? Well, Season 8 had 12 queens, so it's probably going to be the exact same as that season, but let's go further into this. First off, Naomi immediately chooses Kimchi because she likes Kimchi's aesthetic, so Kimchi has to be stuck with Naomi Smalls. Thorgy would choose Bob the Drag Queen, and Bob would probably choose Thorgy or Acid. But Thorgy all of a sudden goes, nope, you're mine. And now Acid has to be stuck with somebody else. Considering the fact that Acid doesn't have any friends in the competition, she gets saved for last. and probably has to work with Layla. Cynthia and Naisha end up as a team. Layla and Acid, of course, end up as a team. So we have Dax, Chi-Chi, rest her soul, Robbie Turner, and Derek Barry. Robbie and Derek end up as a team, meaning Dax and Chi-Chi end up as a team. Surprisingly, the first two eliminated are Chi-Chi and Naisha. Because Chi-Chi and Naisha, Naisha is too pretty, and then it's Layla and Acid. The top 4 teams then get rid of Derek and Robbie because Chi-Chi's lip syncing is so good, meaning that the top 3 teams going into the top 7 are those queens. But we also have to do a top 8 now, because Derek does not get voted out, instead Robbie does, and we have a chance to either bring Robbie back or bring back one of the eliminated queens. We saw how this went. Naisha has to come back into the competition just because, and so she does, making it a top 8. She gets immunity the first time, and we have to say goodbye, most likely to Derek Barry, after a lip sync probably with Chi-Chi Devane. Chi-Chi and Dax at this point have been in the bottom 2 a lot, so the next one to leave is Dax, after probably a lip sync against her partner Chi-Chi. Even though Chi-Chi has been in the bottom a lot, she hasn't been bad. So obviously, the frontrunners here are Thorgy, Bob, and Naomi and Kim Chi. But Bob and Kim and Naomi, all 3 of them are marginally better than any of the others. So, who do we have to say goodbye to next? Dax. Well, wait, no. Dax she done already left. It'd probably be Naisha. Making it a top 5 of Thorgy, Chi-Chi, Bob, Kim, and Naomi. Then we have to say goodbye to Thorgy, which means that the top 4 are the same, saying goodbye to Chi-Chi. And then to make it a top 2, I think that it would probably be Bob and Naomi, or Bob and Kim, rather. And Naomi would be cut off to make it a top 2, and Bob would win. Season 2 includes... Why does everyone with 12 queens have someone who is no longer with us in it? That just... It saddens me. But Sahara Davenport's in this, and considering the fact that she and Shangela are BFFs when the series airs, they are the ones that are gelling together. First off, we have to point out the obvious. Nobody liked James, aka Tyra, on this season. Raven hates Tatiana, but they're already going to form Rujubi. So, Rujubi's being placed as well. Go on, Rujubi. Good. So we have 2 out of 6 teams. Now we have to do Morgan, who, yes, was friends with... I don't remember who yelled the Morgan, bitch, hi. But that was somebody. I think Pandora probably would choose Jessica Wilde, or... Yeah, I think she would choose Jessica Wilde. So we already have Jessica Wilde and Pandora. That's 3. Sonique, probably, because of aesthetics reasons, would probably choose Morgan. So we have 4 now. Tyra and Mystique would probably be put together now, meaning that Tatiana and, who's the other one? Nicole. Oh, God. Is it Nicole? Is Nicole going to be with... Nicole... Yeah, Nicole's going to have to be with Tatiana on this one. Just because I feel like nobody knew of them and nobody really liked them. So, that being said, let's look at who would win. So, first, right off the bat, Sahara and Shangela do bad. So their group is in the bottom with probably Nicole and Tatiana. But unlike this, we do have to say goodbye to Sahara and Shangela. It just isn't fair. Tatiana and Nicole probably would lip sync again multiple times. Nicole would definitely be the weakest out of those two. So, but before that happens, we have to say goodbye to a couple more groups. Tatiana would probably be the third group left that has to leave because before the top 8, that meaning. Because we have to get rid of somebody else, I think it would probably be Morgan and Sonique. Then Tatiana and Nicole would leave. But Tatiana would stay. Nicole definitely would not stay, meaning that we have to save one of the others. As we look through the people, I do think that Morgan would be brought back into the competition, just because I feel like she would be the best one to, the best one to bring back, considering that she's a workhorse. So now that she's back, we have to keep her safe for another episode, meaning that we have to get rid of somebody else. AKA, we're probably going to have to get rid of either Mystique or Jessica, and I think it would be Jessica, just because Mystique and Tyra have been doing so well in the competition now, with Raven and Jujubee also being up there. So we'd have to say goodbye to Jessica Wilde. Next up, we'd probably say goodbye to Morgan again, because Tatiana would probably beat her in a lip sync. Then Tatiana would leave. So we'd have a top 5. The top 4 would include Mystique, would basically just be getting rid of a loose end in Pandora. And then the final 4 would be Mystique, Jujubee, Raven, and Tyra, with Mystique leaving and Jujubee being cut off to make it a top 2 with Tyra winning. So that's basically it for the... Oh, I forgot about season. Season 12. It had 12 queens, and don't say it had 13 because it didn't. So, first and foremost, we still have the groups to begin with, but now we have to choose who would be together. First and foremost, I think that everybody would be banking on the 2 winners. The 2 winners would probably get to choose their partners. And considering that Widow beat Gigi in a lip sync, she's going to go for Gigi. Or if you want a plot twist, they have to choose the strongest from each of their groups. Since Jada did that lip sync by herself, and don't tell me she didn't, she would probably choose the person who she thinks was the strongest out of her group besides herself, which would probably be Jan. So Widow, Gigi, Jan, and Jada would be paired up. So that's 2 groups out of 6. Do you mind, Ginger? She's going to the bathroom. That's great. Rock'em Sakura would also probably choose somebody who kind of understands her drag aesthetic, so Crystal Method. So she and Crystal would make a good pair. Jackie Cox, I could see her choosing probably Britta, just because they're both from NYC, so both of them get paired together. Then, of course, we have Heidi in Closet, who we have to pair up with somebody. She probably would go with Dahlia, just because it's Dahlia. She's a fashion girl, leaving Aiden and Nikki to be the final pair. Now, I won't say don't underestimate them, but at the same time underestimate them because they leave first. Let's just say that the top 3 groups are Jada, Jan, Gigi, Widow, and Crystal, and Rock'em. with Heidi and Jack. No, not Heidi and Jackie. With Jackie and Britta, I think that they would keep. Do you mind, Ginger? I think they would keep Jackie over Britta, just because Britta's personality would have been really grating by now. So she would get to stay, as well as that we need to bring somebody back. I think we would bring back Aiden Zane. I'm just saying because he wants the kooky ooky spooky. Now, not to tie up loose ends, Jackie Cox does not get eliminated. Instead, I think it would probably be Rock'em Sakura that gets eliminated next. Followed by Aiden. Followed by probably Jan. Because Jada and Gigi have been leading their groups to victory so far. They're obviously going to be the top two. But the top four, I think, would include Jackie. Or even the top three, maybe. The top three would probably include Jackie. Crystal would also be probably in the top 4/3. Which means that Widow would be the next one to go, with Jada ultimately winning the crown. So that's just me. Have a great day, guys. Bye.